Hi everybody and welcome to the Friday Zone. Today we're exploring the wonderful world of water on today's episode, and we've got a group of kids here in the zone. How you guys doing? Good! Awesome! That's what I like to hear. Well, our friend from the district is back, Elisa, and she's here to talk to us a little bit about water. How's everything going?
Pretty good.
Good, cool. So, what are you going to talk to us about today?
Well, we all have this big thirst. Okay? We have this big thirst about a natural resource that keeps us alive.
And that is?
And it is water.
Water. Do you know that, Keegan?
Yeah.
Now, every drop of water, okay, you see that little drop on my finger here, is on a never-ending journey. It goes all over the world, inside and outside living things, plants, animals, humans, and it has been inside the tiniest insect you can think of, the largest animal, inside all sorts of things. And all about. And it's been seawater and fresh water. So it goes on this amazing journey. And these very tiny particles of water, you cannot see the tiniest part of water, but these are all comprised, just like anything else, composed of molecules. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what scientists call the water cycle, or the hydrologic cycle. And we're going to find out how water is distributed on this earth.
Cool, and how we get water.
That's right. And
cool.
what water we can actually use available to us on a daily basis.
So we can't use all water?
Can't use all water.
Okay, well, let's find this out, right, Keegan?
So let's say that this gallon jug over here represents all the water on Earth.
Ooh, that's a lot of water.
Now, that's a lot of water, right? Okay, doesn't look like it here, but let's say it does. Okay. Now, we're going to pour out a little bit here. Okay. And then we're going to say that the water left in this jug represents, hold up that so everybody can see it, ocean water.
Ocean!
Right? So let's put that right in front over here. Now, this is all the fresh water on Earth. So we're going to see what sort of fresh water we have available for daily use. Okay. So Keegan, let's have you do this. Let's have you take a scoop.
And what is daily use? Shower, drinking water, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, toilet, cleaning, cleaning reasons, cooking, all those sorts of things that we do. And just pour it right in here.
All right.
If you want to put this one represents the water, the fresh water that we have in what we call glaciers or polar ice. We're going to put it right here.
In that blue one.
Right here.
Okay.
So that's the polar ice. Got polar ice in all of its different forms.
And the next one? What's the next one?
Next one, okay, go take a scoop. This is the water that we find underground.
Okay. Underground water.
Underground, that's right.
And then we have another, the next one, the red one. Keegan, go ahead and scoop that one.
Go ahead. I'll bring this over so it's easy.
Cool. And what's that one?
This represents, what is it? Clouds. Okay.
And so then we have one small one left. What's that last one? Fill that one up, Keegan. We'll talk about that.
So put that right over here. Now let's look at before I tell you what this is, let's look at this one. For instance, in the polar ice, in the glaciers, if we needed that water, could we go there to brush our teeth? Okay? No. It would be a little difficult, wouldn't it? Now, how about the water deep underground, locked in the rocks, deep underground? Yeah.
It's harder to
We can get shallow underground water, but not deep underground.
Okay.
Now, with the clouds, if we're thirsty, we could do a rain dance, right?
Yeah. What's your rain dance, Keegan?
But would it work every time?
No.
It wouldn't work every time. Okay. So there's a problem here. Now, the one that you did represents the available water.
Oh, man. That's not
This
very much.
is your available surface water, we call it, and groundwater, which represents lakes and rivers and wetlands, shallow groundwater and ponds. This is it. Now, if this is the available water, let's have you hold that, okay, that we have, do we have to be really careful in protecting it?
Yes.
We don't have a whole lot, do we?
We don't have a whole lot.
And this shows exactly how much is used for different things and how much we're able to use.
That's right. And another way of looking at it is to think of, for instance, a bucket, which would represent the ocean water, and just a mug. Okay, a mug would represent the oceans, the water in oceans, in clouds, and underground water, and the teaspoon would represent the available water that we can use on a daily basis.
Cool, that's so awesome. Well, we'll learn a little bit more from Elisa in just a second, but cool. So Elisa, we just looked at the water drain system and stuff. So all that water, is that all recycled back into the ocean?
Water is just recycled. And scientists say that we have the same amount of water on Earth that we did when the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
No
so the water
kidding.
quantity doesn't change.
Are we drinking the same water?
We
the
are
dinosaurs?
drinking the same water that the dinosaurs
Wow,
drank.
cool. Okay, so now we've got all these nasty pollutants up here. What are we doing with all this?
Well, nationally, 40% of our lakes and rivers and streams are not fit for the basic needs of swimming and fishing. And it's 31% in Indiana. So that's quite a lot of water that we cannot
Amelia,
use.
do you ever go fishing or do anything out in lakes and stuff?
I go fishing sometimes with my
Yeah,
dad.
cool.
And when you talk about the whole United States, about 75% of the whole U.S. population lives near a body of water, lives about 10 miles, of a body of water that is polluted.
So they can't even fish or go swimming?
That's right. That's right.
Go tubing or skiing or all those awesome
Very
fun
sad.
things.
But we all can protect what we call the watershed. Do you guys live in a watershed?
Yes.
Yes, we all live in a watershed. You got it right. Because when water falls down, when water falls on the earth, in all its many different forms, it runs on the earth, and the earth is like the sponge.
Okay.
And the sponge absorbs it.
Right.
So some of that water will be surface water that forms your lakes and ponds and streams and ditches, and others will go underground. Other water will go underground, and then you have, of course, the water in the atmosphere and the clouds. So it's this constantly being recycled.
So what happens when the water gets polluted? How does that happen?
How does it happen? Let's see how that happens.
Okay.
First of all, there are various types of pollution here.
Okay.
We have just some of them on this table here.
Yeah.
We have what's called point pollution, where I could point to you and I said, you did it. Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't do it. I promise. I didn't do it, guys.
And so you poured the oil in the water, which can affect gallons and gallons for millions of drinking water for millions of people. So that's point pollution, where you can actually track who did it.
Who did it,
whether
where
it's
it
a
came
business
from.
or a homeowner or something.
Yeah.
But the majority of pollution is called non-point pollution, where I can't point to you and say you did it or you did it. Okay, and it's hard to track and it's hard to measure.
Okay.
But this can also be prevented by simple things that we do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So what we're going to show you right now is some of the things that happen that get in our water.
Okay.
For instance, when you're washing your car.
Okay.
A better thing to do instead of washing it in the driveway, where what comes out of the car? Oil and what else? Gas, runs off, and it goes down those storm drains. So this, if it's not biodegradable soap, it's going to get into our water, our bodies of water.
Gotcha.
So, you want to pour that in here?
Go for it, Amelia.
Okay, pour it in there. See what happens. All right. So that's one source.
And this just represents a large body of water? No
represents a large body of water. Yeah, it could be a
Okay.
stream, could be like whatever.
So that's all. Oh, that's
Or
already.
underground water too.
You don't even want to drink that already.
No. Now, instead of hosing down your driveway, what could you do instead? You could sweep the driveway, right? You want to sweep the driveway so you don't get those pollutants.
Alternate ways to get around those things.
Right.
Okay. What
Now-
else? What are some other things?
Okay, this could be a mysterious liquid, and let's pour
Liquid
that in.
blue, we'll call
Liquid
it.
blue, okay, which we don't know where it comes from.
Let's
Maybe
say
it's
drain cleaner or something.
drain clear. It could be antifreeze.
Oh.
Who knows what it is?
Antifreeze. Oh.
So let's put that over here. Okay, that's something
Water's
else
supposed to
go
be
in there.
blue, right, guys?
And we'll pretend that this is we'll say that this is excess soil, okay?
Excess
A
soil,
whole bunch
okay.
of soil. That's why you want to always clean your storm drains of pet waste and litter and
Oh,
excess
pet
soil
waste.
and
Oh,
weeds.
it's kitty litter, guys. Ah.
So,
Oh.
it's not looking good. Okay, and this could be something. Let's pour a little of this in here. We don't know what this is.
Shampoo.
It could be shampoo.
I know what it is.
Maybe someone's camping and they're cleaning something. Or,
Yeah.
Okay, so pour a little bit of that in there. Okay, that's good. And then the other things that we're actually not going to pour in here, but are really in our water. Okay,
So what have we
come
got?
from people who use pesticides and herbicides.
Weed and grass
things that
killers.
kill insects and things that kill plants.
We got
And then
oil.
Oil. Okay, oil. Okay. What's this one? Looks like something with homeowners might use for insects to keep termites
like a pesticide
away.
thing, yeah. Drain cleaner, like we talked about
Drain
earlier. What else?
cleaner.
We got paint.
Paint, all sorts of paints and
What's
cleaners.
All-purpose plant food. Now, how is that bad?
Plant food, well, it has chemicals in it. Again, it has
Gotcha.
chemicals in it.
Not
So you
for-
want to use organic things.
Not good for people.
Not good for people or
Okay.
animals or plants. And of course, you have things like medicines. This happens to be medicine for a pet. But you want to make sure that you don't get medicines in there as well. And we missed this one. Was this oil again? That was oil again.
Some more oil.
So that's the non-point pollution. And the urban and suburban neighborhoods are the leading causes of this types of pollution. In fact, stormwater is the leading cause of pollution across the United States.
Okay. And so you have a way to demonstrate that.
Yes, in Indiana we have 5 major watersheds. But let's have you crumple up this paper and see where water flows. Crumple pull it up. That's right. Okay. Now I want you to open it up. Just open it up real gently. Nothing hidden in there. I promise.
No surprises.
Now, I want you to take this marker, and I'll help you with it. I'll get another marker. And I want you, it's kind of like a topographic map. I want you to draw lines, just like this, on the highest ridges. Okay, so continue to draw lines on those highest ridges. And I'll help you out. Want to draw some too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And what is this showing?
Well, I want you guys to think, where does water flow? Does it flow uphill or downhill?
Downhill.
It flows downhill, right?
Yeah.
So let's think about, for instance, you can think about your house, and then you get the spray bottle over here, and I'm going to spray this now. So this is parts of land,
Okay.
and maybe your house is over here, maybe it's over here, and we're going to spray it, and let's see what happens. Those are, all those little lines represent all the many zillions of watersheds that we have.
Water, it's going everywhere.
Water takes, when it flows, it takes everything in its path. So whether it's litter, okay, whether it's more leaves, okay, more leaves and things that litter clogs up, takes out the oxygen in the water. Okay, that's what happens to our waterways if we're not careful. As well as campers. Okay, campers leave things. Want to put some of these in here? What do we have here? We have some lures. We have some hooks.
These are all the things that get left behind.
All the things that get left behind if people are not responsible.
Oh man, that's so terrible. But you know, there are ways we can prevent that. And thank you so much for showing us that. And we'll see more right after this. All right, and we're back now. Elisa, we were just talking about all the terrible things that we do with our water. What are some solutions? What are the ways that we can fix all
Well,
this?
the first thing is to realize that anything that goes down a storm drain ends up in our waterways. So that's where you guys come in and keeping those storm drains clear of litter and all the things that we talked about.
Yeah.
And also remember that pollution can make plants and animals and humans sick. It can actually affect the development and growth of life.
Okay.
So those are some things we have to remember. And that water may seem like it's free, right? It seems free. It seems really inexpensive.
Everywhere. We can do whatever we want with it, right?
But it's not, because if we pollute our watersheds, okay, we don't have something that's critical to keep us alive.
So what about, we had those hooks and those lures earlier. What if these guys are going fishing? What are some ways that they can help with when they're out?
When you're out camping and enjoying the nature, it's important that you are responsible and that you speak up if you see someone leaving trash, and that your family takes the trash. You pack it in and pack it out. That's just a basic rule, and that keeps everyone healthy. Other things that you can do is make sure you tell your parents, don't use chemical fertilizers on the lawn.
Okay.
Because again, when it rains, where does it go?
In the ocean.
It goes into all of our waters and all of our different watersheds.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's watersheds.
That's right. So you are part of the water cycle. One other thing, because homeowners are so much a part
It's my
of
hat.
this.
I was looking for that.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just
What is it?
It's a funnel.
It's a funnel. And what do you use this for?
Well, you can drain stuff through it.
Certain things through it.
That's
So then it
right.
doesn't-
Okay.
So then you, like if you don't
So
have a
you
little
won't
spout.
spill.
And if your parents change their oil, the car, the lawnmower, it's important that they use this and they have a container underneath so that it doesn't flow onto your driveway and get into our waterways.
Gotcha.
So that's one simple thing that you can do.
Yeah.
And we talked about some of the others, but also never flush hazardous materials down a drain,
Yeah.
whether it's a medicine, whether it's anything that's considered a chemical, and use alternatives to that. So remember that you guys are part of the water cycle.
Yeah.
You are part of the water cycle, and we're responsible for keeping it clean.
And what are do you guys have any examples? Do you have anything that you guys do at home in particular to save water? Do you guys do anything?
Well, I do.
We turn off our faucets and we do not use pesticides in
Good.
our garden. We use rotten eggs.
Oh, there you go. Nice. What about you?
We wash out plastic bottles and reuse them.
Oh, great. That's great.
And hopefully you recycle them too, right? When you recycle, you're saving gallons and gallons of water. And so that's really important. You're also keeping that out of different beautiful areas because it doesn't become litter, right?
Also, we're saving up water in very large bottles and putting them away.
Well, cool. These
use
guys
a-
are already ahead of the
You can
game.
use
They're
a
already.
rain barrel.
Yeah, exactly. They already know. Well, this is.
What we're doing.
And
Yeah.
many people are rewilding their yards, meaning they're planting a lot more vegetation so that when it rains, that water filters down into the ground and it naturally cleans it. And there's something that maybe some of you are doing right now. It's called rain gardens. And they're building rain gardens too, making rain gardens.
Oh yeah.
Great, cool, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
today.
And we'll be right back after this Friday Zone Flashback.
Right next to the Deserts outdoor exhibit and across from the Forests outdoor exhibit is the Dolphin Adventure, a very special indoor exhibit that you won't want to miss while visiting the Indianapolis Zoo. Crowds entering the Marsh Dolphin Theater each year can expect to not only be entertained, but to be educated about dolphins as well. While many zoo visitors enjoy watching the dolphins' athletic feats from a distance, it is possible to get even closer to the dolphins by participating in a special zoo program called the Dolphin in Water Adventure.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It really is, to actually get outside your own little world, to enter into their environment.
Shortly after descending the steps into the saltwater interaction pool, Linda gave me a lesson in recognizing the characteristics of mammals.
Characteristics of mammals are they have hair, and as you were looking, like no hair on these dolphins, but when they're born, they have a cute little mustache along their rostrum. They give live birth, so they will have a belly button. So we ask the kids, where's your belly button? Well, same place on the dolphin. They also nurse their young, so they will have mammaries and nurse their young. And they breathe air.
And breathe air they do, not through their rostrums, but through a blowhole on their backs.
As far as their anatomy, the only fins that have bones are the pectoral fins. And it's pretty amazing that from our scapula, which is our shoulder blade, all the way down, bone for bone, joint for joint, is exactly the same as the human arm and hand. So that's pretty fascinating. And it's with those flippers that they use those for steering and stopping.
From the pectoral fins, we moved to the dorsal fin.
On their back, they have their dorsal fin, and we speculate that that is for stabilization.
But my favorite part of a dolphin's body has to be the peduncle.
From that dorsal fin all the way back to the tail fluke is called the peduncle. I think that's a fun word, peduncle. It is basically the tail shank.
Although the anatomy of each bottlenose dolphin is pretty much the same, their personalities are very different. According to Linda, Nova, the adult dominant female dolphin I had the pleasure of meeting, has a much different personality than that of Chemo, the subordinate male dolphin in the pool with us.
Nova loves to be loved on. Food is secondary for her. Chemo, on the other hand, is very high energy, very athletic.
Linda showed me how to do several hand cues, which asked Chemo to make specific sounds, including squawks and clicks.
We've captured these on hand cue, and the first one we did was called a squawk. It's simply the two fingers going back and forth. The other one that you referenced as their signature whistle, and this is unique to each dolphin as it is our fingerprints are to us.
Chemo was ready to show off some of his high-energy moves. After a quick peck shake, Chemo demonstrated an air spin, a double tail walk, and an awe-inspiring front flip, which earned him an especially large fish as a reward. Linda has an invitation for you.
Hey kids, if you want to have some of the fun that Katie had with Nova and Chemo, come on down to the Indianapolis Zoo. You can have the same up-close and personal interaction with Nova and Chemo, and it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but we learned a lot about water and the water cycle today and things that we can do to prevent water being polluted and stuff like that.
And a lot of what we learn has to do with how we think of water. So if you change our perception of how we think of it, then we can help prevent this pollution.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys got some good tips and some good things to do to help you save water? Cool, yeah. And you have a website for them?
GoGreenDistrict.com. Go
cool.
to the district.
And what's important about that website?
They can find all sorts of ways that they can bring hazardous materials facilities to our hazardous materials facility at the district, and they can recycle, and they can also bring reusable materials too.
Cool, awesome. Well, don't forget you can also find us online where you can watch episodes and past episodes as well as see behind the scenes photos from this show. But remember to live, learn, and play the Friday Zone way. We'll see you here next week. Right, Liam? Right?